Hey Canucks fans, now that I've watched last night's game, I can offer a few more thoughts. I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter, I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram, I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, October the 23rd. Yes, the Vancouver Canucks are coming off a wonderful 5-2 victory over the Detroit Red Wings, the second time they beat Detroit in a week, the fifth game for the Canucks in the past 8 days, and now we have a bit of a 2-day break before the Canucks take on the Washington Capitals at home this Friday. Can't wait to go to the game with my lovely wife, Gail. Now, last night, we know that the Canucks scored 5 goals in the third period. We know that Bo Horvat had his hat trick in that third period. A wonderful display of leadership and skill and grit and perseverance, dedication, all those things. And you guys know that I didn't watch the game last night. I was working all night at a big annual event for the Archdiocese of Vancouver, and I did a vlog, and I admitted that when I did the vlog, I admitted very, very honestly that I had not watched the game, and I did a post-game vlog with my friend Brandon. Thank you for watching that. But then I was able to go home and watch the game, and the one thing that I probably shouldn't have said in the vlog, but even though I admitted that I hadn't watched the game, was that the Canucks had a slow start. And no, they didn't have a slow start, but they were taking some penalties. And that's the first thing I noticed about last night's game, aside from all the good stuff like Horvat getting his hat trick, his first career hat trick, is that the Canucks are pretty tough to score on 5-on-5. And you look at, the 7 goals, the 5-2 victory, 5 of the goals, the 2 Detroit goals, I knew they were on the power play, but I didn't know the circumstances. Then I go home and I see one of them's on a 5-on-3. You can't really blame any of the players for that, the ones killing the penalty. And the other one's on a 4-on-3. The only thing you might take issue with is the fact that they put themselves in that situation. The best are high stick, accidental, but it is a 4-minuter. And then, of course, Tyler Myers takes the interference penalty to put them down 2 men, and then Detroit scores. Most good teams, Detroit's not even a good team, most teams should score on a 5-on-3. Most, and they should. And then the 4-on-3 it was a 4-on-4 firstly with that Vertan and Bruhaha, and then you had JT Miller taking, I think, an interference penalty in the neutral zone. So, you like Miller and you'd like Myers to maybe not take those penalties when it's either, the Miller one, they're 4-on-4, so they're technically even strength. And then Myers can't take that penalty when the Canucks are already down, and not just down by 2 minutes. It was actually a 4-minute, a double minor. So both Detroit goals, all to say, did not come 5-on-5. They both came with the man advantage, and it wasn't a traditional man advantage 5-on-4. Both Detroit goals came when the Canucks only had 3 skaters in front of Jacob Markstrom. So all to say, that's a good sign for the Vancouver Canucks that they are playing so strong 5-on-5, and that it takes removing 2 of their skaters, at least last night, off the ice for the Detroit Red Wings to score. Then you look at, all 3 of Horvat's goals were unconventional, or not unconventional, but they weren't 5-on-5, right? 2 power play goals, and then the empty netter, which you could argue is 6-on-5 for Detroit, is one way of putting it. So you take away Horvat's 3, you take away the Detroit 2, then there are only 2 goals scored at even strength, both scored by the Canucks. Obviously, Tim Schaller on a nice pass from Pettersson, and Jake Virtanen, while Bo Horvat was wreaking havoc in front of the net. Could have easily gone off of him. It was very close. So Horvat could have had even 4 goals on the night. So all in all to say that the Canucks are playing very well 5-on-5. I've seen stats where they're dominating the shot metrics and possession at 5-on-5, something that they haven't done in the past few seasons. So that's a really, really good sign, is that the Canucks are playing well. The other thing I want to talk about very quickly is the movement on the power play. And Thomas Drance did a good job breaking this down in his post-game armies in the Athletic last night. But ever since Quinn Hughes joined that unit 3 games ago, you see more movement. And I've talked about this many times, how Quinn Hughes can walk the line, how he can easily take 1 or 2 steps back and just change the angle of his passing, of a shot. He's getting a lot of shots through, and that's how the Canucks scored last night. One, a shot went through, Pettersson jumped on the rebound, put it to Horvat, and Horvat put it in. The other one, Hughes' shot went through, and Horvat tipped it in. So that's why Hughes had 2 assists on the night, because he's able to create those shooting lanes with his skill, with his deception, and the way he skates. But the other thing that Thomas Drance did a really good job of pointing out is the other 4 guys, the 4 forwards, Horvat, Miller, Pettersson, and Besser, are all doing a much better job of not being stationary, of actually moving and making the Canucks power play more unpredictable. So it's Besser and Pettersson switching sides once in a while, strong side, weak side, one-timer side, non-one-timer side, whatever you want to call it. They're not afraid to go on either half boards now, as opposed to just one or the other. Miller and Horvat, so if you kind of consider Besser and Pettersson as a duo, right? on the half boards, then you have Miller and you have Horvat also doing things where it's not just Miller in front of the net and Horvat in the bumper. It could be Horvat in front of the net, Miller in the bumper. You've seen Miller come to the half boards and Pedersen move to the bumper on Horvat's deflection goal. So what the Canucks are doing, they're reading and they're reacting a lot better than they did before. And I'm not saying that's because of Edler. It's not like Edler's a bad player, but I think on the power play, it's not so much that Edler was bad. It's more so much that Hughes is so good. And he brings so many opportunities and so much creativity to that power play, where as a five-man unit, if they're all moving, if they're all in sync, and they're all smart enough and playing on instinct as well as set formations and set plays, then it makes the Canucks power play that much more dangerous. And we saw that in a few instances last night. So those two, and I guess the third thing really quick is you need your best players to be your best players. And last night they certainly were. Horvat with 3 points, 3 goals. Then you have Pedersen, Hughes, and Miller all with 2 points. The only one that really didn't get on the score sheet of the strong players was Brock Besser. He had a decent game, of course, but he was held off the score sheet. So those 3 things really I want to talk about today. Number 1 was the Canucks' strong play on 5-on-5. They only got beat when they only had 3 skaters on the ice. Number 2, the movement in the power play. And number 3, very quickly, that it's nice to see all the best players being the best players. So you have your core 4 and Alex Edler, I think, as the top scorers now on the Vancouver Canucks. So there you go. Would love to know what you think. Now that I've seen the game, and I'm sure you guys actually watched it yesterday as opposed to me admitting that I didn't watch it. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of what I talked about just now, about any of those things as I watch this big recycling truck go by me. Yeah, so tell me what you thought about the game. Tell me what you thought about what I just talked about the Canucks 5-on-5 play, about their strong, the strong play by their best players, and of course by what were you encouraged, or have you been encouraged by what you've been seeing on the power play with Quinn Hughes. Would love to know what you think. Leave a comment below. I love to read, react, and reply as always. Subscribe if you like to. Like this video if you like to. Enjoy the day. God bless. Go Canucks go.